Hello, beautiful alchemist. Happy January. Happy 2025. There are some big changes that are going to happen for us in the year of 2025. And we'll get into it. And of course, we'll explore the points of focus in terms of change and transformation as we journey throughout this year. But since we are starting off in the month of January, of course, that is going to be the point of focus for this video. We're going to primarily focus on the energy of January. However, I will also post a video about the energy of 2025 that you can access within Creating with the Moon and Stars, which you have free access to if you're part of my newsletter, but also you will be able to access that video on the Energetic Alchemist app. But this year is about big change. We're in a universal year 9 in the system of numerology, which is about ending or completing a cycle. It's about transformation. It's about wisdom. It's about compassion and community. And we'll get more into the essence of 9, as I said in the other video. But we're also entering the year of the snake. And what do snakes do? They shed their old skin. So again, we have even more emphasis on this essence of transformation, of change. And of course, it is for our benefit, but we want to be consciously engaged with how we navigate these changes that are coming up and how we are choosing to participate in the ending of a cycle. Now, this cycle began in 2017, so you can even personally reflect back on what was going on for you at that time in your life in 2017, and then kind of look at the progression here with that consideration of ending a full cycle before we prepare for a new cycle that will start in 2026. But again, we'll talk about that in the energy of the year video. For now, let's talk about January. So first and foremost, of course, Happy New Year. And we have different points of the year that we can acknowledge a new cycle or a new year, so to speak. So we have January 1st being the new year for those of us that use the Gregorian calendar. And we have the Lunar New Year, which will happen this year on January 29th, where we usher in the year of the snake. And then we also have the astrological New Year, or what others consider the point of the new year, which is during the spring equinox in March. We'll talk about that then. For now, January. The energy that we enter in the new year with is the energy of Capricorn, because the sun is in the sign of Capricorn. And the sun is what illuminates. It's what energies, I would say, I call it the king of the month, whatever sign the sun is in, because it becomes this primary focus, energetically speaking. And we all have an opportunity to learn through these different energies throughout the year, regardless of what our personal sun signs may be. So, Capricorn or not, we all right now are in the essence of that Capricornian intelligence. And what that really highlights for us is this focus on what we're doing with our lives, just, how we're showing up, where we are giving effort, if we are contributing back into the collective based on what feels more like a soul level contribution. If we are putting in the work and the effort, if we are disciplined, if we are allowing ourselves to learn from that taskmaster, the ruler of Capricorn, which is Saturn. And there is always this promise of reward for our efforts. Now, just as a caveat, the reward isn't always what we expect it to be, but we are supported, I will say, the more that we put in effort towards whatever it is that we're trying to accomplish, to create, to experience. Now, the key here is being in alignment with that which we want to pour energy into, because we've all had the experiences of trying, of bumping our head against the wall, of putting a lot of effort, time, and energy into things that just didn't seem to work out. And we may have not felt the support that we felt that we deserved. So we really want to be in clear communication relationship, not just with ourselves, but also with the guidance of the universe. So you want to tune into what is true, what feels resonant from your heart level of intelligence. And in the video I posted about the winter solstice, I spoke to you a lot about being your authenticity and checking the motivation around why you're trying to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. So when we are aligned with accomplishment, a sense of accomplishment that feels very authentic and true, then we are more in alignment with a frequency where we can be supported in the highest and best way. So there's that recognition of what is most resonant for us, checking our motivation to make sure it's authentic and true, but also being aware of how synchronicities show up, how the universe will give us clues and guide us and give us a sense of direction and drop in little hints. There's a lot that we have to be consciously aware of. And this is why, even within the system of Reiki, there's so much focus on our presence of mind on top of other things. But presence of mind is key, not just in the realm of spirituality, but if there was like a guidebook for how to best experience being human here on the earth plane, presence of mind would be one of the key lessons there, one of the key suggestions or recommendations. So we make things a lot easier for ourselves when we are more consciously engaged, tuned in to ourselves, our own heart intelligence, and where the support is coming from the universe to really help us deliver in the unfolding of this. So back to Capricorn. Capricorn really kicks this off for us in the new year, in the new season. It brings direction and focus to, again, how we are contributing, showing up, our reputation, what it is we feel called to in terms of our life path, our life calling, which may or may not be our career. So in the system of astrology, the 10th house, which is associated with Capricorn, is related to more of that, legacy, our, again, life calling, what feels purposeful, what we feel very aligned to on a soul level. But the 6th house, which is governed more by the essence of Virgo, is more concerned with our day to day, and that may be our job. Now, of course, if we're lucky, our job may be the same thing as what it is we feel is aligned with our purpose, how we want to contribute to the world. Those two things could be one and the same. But let's be honest, for most of us, it's not. So we may have our day-to-day that we do as a job to help take care of our resources, that help to take care of us and support us financially. And we may have still other interests that we feel called to. So it's important to recognize this distinction, because I don't want you to think, if I'm not doing the work or I'm not in the career that aligns with what feels most authentic or true to my heart calling, it doesn't mean you throw in the towel. It doesn't mean you give up. It just means that you recognize that expression of what feels most authentic to you and you execute it in another way. So you may have a day job, let's say, of being an attorney, but then you also make time in your life to express as an artist. Or you may be someone who is a caretaker, or you take care of home, maybe I don't know, a stay-at-home person, but you feel like there's some calling that you want to support others in other ways. So you also have volunteer efforts, whatever it is. It's going to look unique for each of us, but the key is tuning into what is most resonant and true for you, and how you can create a pattern, a blueprint of your life that ticks all of the boxes, that covers the area of life where we have to be concerned with and responsible as it relates to our finances and our sense of security, but also acknowledging on a soul level why we feel we're here, what we feel called to do, what we feel called to create and contribute. So, of course, Capricorn is going to say, why are you here? What did you show up on a soul level to give back? How did you want to be seen and known on a collective scale that is a contribution of your gifts? That is a contribution, again, of your legacy. Now, that can be a big question. For some of us, there's just this knowing. For some of us, we may feel like that knowing has changed over time. But no matter where you are in relationship to that idea, Capricorn will come around again and again and ask you again. So just rein it into where you are now. What feels important to you now? In terms of life experience and life expression, what is it if you didn't make it right or wrong? And if you didn't put it in the category of like big enough or good enough, you just honor whatever it is that you feel in your heart intelligence is this something that pulls to you. Like, I want to create, contribute to experience in this way while I am on this earth plane. This is something that I know soul level is part of what I came to experience and contribute. Contribution, that word is key. Now, the big thing here again is Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So we have this governance of, if you're going to do it well. If it is worth it to you, then act like it is. Nothing beats a failure but a try. That's what I grew up hearing all of my life, raised by a Capricorn. Pick yourself up, try again. Nothing beats a failure but a try. I can't tell you how many times she drilled that in me, but it is very Capricornian. It's ambitious. It is goal-oriented. So think about that. Even if you're in a space right now where you don't feel necessarily motivated or driven, remember, emotions are malleable, our minds are malleable, our energy is malleable. All of it is changeable. And we will all hit points in life where we feel like a lull, where we feel not motivated, where we feel maybe in a fog or a confusion. But the gift is you are an incredible alchemist. And you have the choice to manage your mind, your emotion, and your energy. But as Capricorn would tell you, the only way that management is going to happen is if you give it your effort. So no matter where you are in the scale right now of motivation, some of you may feel very motivated right now. And if you feel very motivated and you are ready to take action, just be diligent and wise. Don't get so caught up in the excitement that you don't pay attention to the details. Remember, Capricorn also says if you're going to do it right. So there's always this element of balance. But if you are in a space waiting for the motivation to come, I would recommend that you first acknowledge what is the lesson or the teaching of the space that you're in right now. Is there some part of you that needs to be nurtured? Is there some part of you that needs to be acknowledged? I talked about this in the winter solstice video, but the opposite of Capricorn is Cancer. So these two signs, Capricorn and Cancer, are like the archetypal mother and father of the zodiac. So where Capricorn is encouraging you to be motivated, to be diligent, to be ambitious and get out there and go for the goals and take action, its counterpart is also saying, if you need to nurture, nurture. If you need to come within first and there are some things that need to be healed and transformed, deal with that. And in fact, while the sun is in Capricorn, the moon in her fullness will be in Cancer later this month. So we'll talk about that in a moment. But I just wanted to give an idea first of the king of the month, the energy we are starting in, and that will be the primary focus of January. Happy birthday to all of you beautiful Capricorns out there. So, the card of this month, January being the first month of the year, the card of the month is the Wise Ones in the Energetic Alchemist Oracle deck. In this card, you see depicted four different characters. Well, five different characters. These four represent the elements that are related to earth in a way. We have air, water, earth, and fire. But up top, we have Horus, which is a representation of spirit. So we have all five elements represented, and they are the wise ones. And this card is to bring us into recognition of our relationship with all five of our elements. So starting off this year, you are in part encouraged to recognize what is your current state of mind, emotion, what is your current state or relationship to your fire, your will, your drive, your determination, and what is your current relationship to your element of earth, relationship to your physical body, relationship to how you are creating, relationship to how you are containing and managing all of the elements. Up top is spirit. One of my teachers says the Latin phrase ora et labora, which means pray and work. But essentially what it means is to make sure that spirit is what is governing all that you do. That spirit is up top, that you are managing all of your elements, your mind, your body, your emotion, your choices from that element of higher intelligence. So there is a lot of teaching here in this card that represents January, the first month. If you have the deck, read the definition of the card within the workbook and meditate on it for yourself. See what comes through for you intuitively. Now, before we go deeper into January in of itself, I also wanted to highlight that this year is a universal year, 9, which I briefly mentioned and we'll talk more about later. But 9 is the essence of ending a cycle. And the card that supports this year, this 9 year, is the Mystic in the Energetic Alchemist Oracle deck. And the Mystic is really also a way of acknowledging and nurturing that relationship to spirit. It is a way of sometimes where we have to, I want to say, isolate in some ways and prioritize that cultivation of connection to higher mind, higher consciousness, higher guidance to support us in leading the way. Now, the universal year 9 points a lot to the wisdom that we have gained in the past 9 years from 2017 until now. You have learned a lot. You've gone through a lot. You have evolved through a lot. But where has that led you now in your level of understanding? What is it that you recognized at this point that you're ready to release? What cycle is ending? What elements in your life have you grown out of? And now you need to do some work to allow yourself to grow into something new, something higher, something different. There's so much that has potentially changed in you, an expression of how you see things, how you feel about things, even the choices that you're making on your path. And the Mystic is a beautiful card, again, to meditate on. Read about the definition of this card if you have the deck and see what comes through for you intuitively. So the focus of this month alone, we would say, is about structure and innovation, because we start out in Capricorn, which very much has us look at the structure around our life, where we are being responsible, where we are allowing ourselves to nurture our ambitions and our goals. There's a lot of structure that has to be in place in order to be in relationship with how we are building into our lives. But as we move out of Capricorn season, the baton will be passed on to Aquarius. And once we reach Aquarius season, it's going to be like, okay, you have your structures in place. You may have a plan of action, but now Aquarius will invite you to really sink into how authentic you are being. If you're being true to your way. It reminds me of the blend of the two, remind me of the Gokai, Gyo O Hageme. But Aquarius is going to say, make sure that you are allowing yourself to be in your authentic expression as you pour into these ambitions and goals, to trust your way, your uniqueness, the beautiful imprint that is uniquely you on this earth plane. So, as always, I want to say make sure you have a pen, something to write with to take note of the events of this month. That will be points of focus. I also think the month of January really focuses on, because of Capricorn, our life path, our career, considerations around that. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to make changes in that sector of life this month, but at least having some reflection, consideration, goal. Maybe you are envisioning or questioning for yourself what you want that to look like as you move forward. What is it that you want to live in expression? And again, with that universal 9 intelligence, what cycles are ending in all areas of life, but this month specifically, what may you need or want to do differently as it relates to your life path, your career, what it is you're pouring energy into. And then Aquarius is going to ask you again to consider bold, independent, creative, innovative ways forward. And that also connects you more deeply with sense of community. So we will, as I said, talk more about the Universal Year 9 in the Energy of the Year video, which you can access through Creating with the Moon and Stars or the Energetic Alchemist app. But for the events of this month, grab your pen. Let's talk about it. On January 1st, just looking at numerology, obviously a 1-1, the first month, the first day, there's this powerful influence of alignment here, really reflecting and considering what you are aligned to, first of all. Sometimes we say divine alignment as if there's supposed to be this automatic alignment with higher intelligence or the divine. Again, Capricorn starts us off in the truth. The truth is that our efforts contribute to what it is we are in alignment to and with. Our efforts, our choice contribute to our frequency, our state of mind, our state of emotion, our energetic self. We play a part. So on this first day of the year, this day of alignment, consider, what am I aligning to in thought, in feeling, in belief? Is there anything that I actually need to sit with myself, be honest about, and say, I would be better supporting myself if I create shift and change, allowing the potential, the pathway, the possibility for higher alignment? What will help me focus on higher thought? What will create an environment for me of higher feeling, higher experience, higher expression? Do I need to consider the company that I keep? Do I need to immerse myself more fully in practices that help to manage my energy, my mind, my emotion? What is it that I can do that is in support of me, my path, my purpose? Hello, Capricorn. Capricorn is going to say, what are you doing about it? So this day of alignment, really consider what Capricorn is helping us to align to and with, and what our personal efforts are in that. And don't forget, I mention this all the time, but there's support that surrounds us in many forms. And sometimes we have to ask for help. Even if we don't want to, even if it's uncomfortable, we have to sometimes make those steps of initiation to get the ball rolling in a direction that will help us. So I encourage you that if you are in a space where you need some support or you want some support, even if it's uncomfortable for a moment, reach out for the help and the support. Okay? And of course, that may look like something different for all of us. But this first day of the year, beautiful time to reflect on where we are, what it is that we may have ambitions and goals around with Capricorn season. And on the last day of December, December 30th, we had the new moon in Capricorn. And so on the 1st of January, it's like that new moon essence is still there, but the moon will then be in Aquarius. So again, it's that essence of not just what you're doing, but if you are being authentic in the seeds that you are planting. It's a beautiful, beautiful time to really take time to sit with the essence of your goals. This is your life. This is your experience. You can plant the seeds you want to plant, but you also have to take the action to nurture and support whatever it is that you are planting. And remember, it's one step at a time, one day at a time, one breath at a time. Okay? So we have the, also on that day is my annual numerology class. Don't forget that I offer the free numerology class every January. And it is where you will learn about your life path number, your destiny number. You'll learn the basics of numerology, the numbers 1 through 9, plus the master numbers. There's a lot that we explore in that class, and I can't wait to share that with you this year. Of course, we also talk briefly about the energy of the universal year 9, what that means, because we were in a universal year 8 in 2024, and that really focused on themes of power, where we may be giving our power away, where we may want to reclaim our power. It's just our overall relationship to power. We may have seen power struggles, change of power, change of authority out in the collective, in the bigger picture, but also within themes in our lives where there was a sense of authority, a tug of war with authority or power. And again, how we were invited to reclaim that for ourselves in some way. So we will talk about moving from that energy into the energy of 9, which is less power focused and more heart centered. So you really want to allow yourself to reflect on what 2024, the gifts that it has brought, and also what you have learned through the cycle of 2017 until now. But recognize how all of that has brought you deeper into a space of wisdom and is helping you to really open up more of that heart intelligence. All right. So the numerology class is free. There is a link to register for that class just down below. So click register and I will see you there. Yeah. And we also have Uranus going retrograde in Taurus on the 1st. And this really brings a lot of reflection and consideration about your relationship to resources, your money, what it is that you may want to reflect on or make changes around, plan around, as it has to do with any kind of structure that is related to foundation, security, these kinds of things. Okay, and then we move forward to January 8th. Just one second. Okay, so after the 1st, we move on to January 8th. And on January 8th, there is a class that goes deep into the essence of 9 to really help us tune in, tap in, harness the essence of what this year is about, the energy of the 9. So if you do enjoy the free numerology class and you want to go deeper into the expression, the intelligence of these numbers, very specific again to the universal year 9. The wisdom of 9 is a class that will start on January 8th. And of course, 1-8 equals 9. No mistake that we're starting the class on that day. So in that class, we will go more into collective, but more so of your personal journey of evolution from 2017 into 2025. And again, with so much focus on integrity, compassion, wisdom, and think about how in moving from the number 1 to the number 9, moving from 2017 to 2025, that we start in one energy with more of an individualistic focus, more of a personal, more about us as an individual. Even around that time, 2017, move into 2020, we had the pandemic where a lot of us were brought into this deep introspection, right? Deep reflection about ourselves, our feelings, our minds, our direction, all of these things, very I focused. But as we evolve through the years and leading to this 9, it is drawing us into more of a communal view. What is the bigger picture here? What is the importance of community, connection? Again, moving beyond just the self and into the community, the group, it's, just any consideration that goes beyond and expresses beyond just the idea of us as individuals. So we'll talk about that in the Wisdom of 9. If you want to join the class, the link for that is below. Now, after this, on January 11th, 111, that number is again emphasizing alignment, but 111 also reduces to a 3. And so we have that essence of creativity. So this is really a beautiful day to consider your relationship. Again, what it is that you are aligned to or at Labora, and how are you creating your relationship to all of your elements? The Wise Ones is a great card to really reflect on this day. So we have alignment and creativity, and then we also have another class, numerically focused, mysteries of the angel numbers. Now, the reason I'm doing this class is because when we do Numerology 101, which is the free class, people always ask about the angel numbers, but we never have time in that class to go over it. So this class in particular will be completely dedicated to the mysteries of the angel numbers. And so again, if you are someone who's drawn into numerology or even just angel numbers, and you want to go deeper into the exploration of what it all means from an energetic point of view, then join me for that class. The link is below. Okay, then we move on to January 13th. Remember, I said that we have Cancer and Capricorn as the archetypes of mother and father. Well, the sun will still be in Capricorn, so we still have that illumination around our ambitions, our goals, what we're doing about it, our efforts. But the full moon brings the sun and the moon into this opposition. So now the opposite sign of Capricorn, which is Cancer, the archetypal mother, will be prominent on this day as well. Now, while opposition can sound like a tug of war, and it can sometimes be that, the sun and the moon being in opposing signs really gives us an opportunity to recognize the necessity for balance. Finding balance and unification where there is a tendency for duality or opposition. So the moon being in her fullness in Cancer, while the sun is illuminating in Capricorn, really gives us all this opportunity to reflect on our relationship to the divine feminine, the divine masculine, archetypal mother, father, not our parents, but these essences within ourselves. Sorry about that. I had to grab something to drink. But anyway, so the full moon gives us this beautiful opportunity to consider the balance and the necessity to unify between our own divine feminine, divine masculine, and our relationship to the archetypal energy of father and mother. Whew, I ran back to be here. That's why I'm like winded now. But anyway, I want you to think of it this way. When you think about the energy of the archetypal father, again, we can look at Capricorn and its ruler Saturn. We can consider our personal relationship to the energy of our ambition, to our energy of being diligent, focused, our relationship to our essence of determination. If there was some aspect of our own higher selves that was asking us to be accountable and responsible to our efforts, if there is an essence of our higher selves that is in relationship to us, asking us to recognize where we can make change or be willing to face what may be difficult, to learn the hard lessons, the tough lessons, what may be uncomfortable for us. But if those lessons, if these opportunities are actually gifts to help us elevate, to do better, to move more closely into that divine alignment, that essence that activates in us this true motivation because it's true to our spirit. What is our relationship to that? Now, on the other side, we can think of our relationship to the energy of archetypal mother, that Cancerian energy. So where are we allowing ourselves to be nurtured by us? Where do we allow ourselves to go in and reflect on and hold ourselves in compassion, acknowledging what matters most to us? Where do we allow ourselves to either be in connection to our family of relation, whatever family means to us, whether it's family that is chosen or family by blood, whatever it is, where do we allow ourselves to feel a part of community in that way that's very personalized and more close to home? What is our relationship to that? What is our relationship to the analytical and structured and planning aspect of the Capricorn and the intuitive, knowing sensibility that we feel through that essence of Cancer? This is where we unify. These energies are meant to work together. All of this work is about unification, but that's what this beautiful full moon can really highlight for us. It can bring up, because it's in this sign of Cancer opposing the Sun and Capricorn, all of these ideas and themes can come into play, or at least we can choose to reflect on them and consider where we find the balance for ourselves. Remember, everything about this work, everything about planetary alignments, everything about the universe, earth consciousness, all of it is to help us grow and evolve, to help us on a soul level to evolve, to help us to move into that intelligence of our true nature. And this is even what we learn through beautiful practices like the system of Reiki. It's all adding to it, helping us see from different lenses what all of these things are pointing to. One truth. So the full moon in Cancer on January 13th, consider who you hold close. This is a beautiful energy to really allow yourself to pause and reflect on what you hold sacred, reflecting on, again, your innermost feelings, being aware of your intuitive knowing, and allowing that inner work, that essence of the divine Cancerian that brings you in closer to home. Allow that element of nurturing to happen so that then that light of Capricorn can shine more brightly. That essence of Capricorn can support you even more when you allow yourself to be supported by the element of Cancer. So there's a beautiful dance here. Now, of course, the full moon is also associated with manifestation and ending cycles. I always say the full moon is a great time to acknowledge what we're full of. And a full moon in Cancer really emphasizes that. Cancer is ruled by the moon. So this is a beautiful time to really consider what you are full of, what needs nurturing, what matters most to you, what's at the center of your heart intelligence. Allow that, again, to be strengthened. And then that amplification of Capricorn, your ambitions, your goals, your drive, your determination, are even then amplified and more supported, energetically speaking and alignment speaking. So after this, we have on January 19th, the sun is going to move out of Capricorn, the more structured, the more earthy, the more... it's ambitious, but can be some rigidity in some ways, kind of stuck sometimes in old patterns, traditions. the sun is going to move into Aquarius, where there's going to be an opportunity to kind of free yourself from some things that no longer serve you. Or maybe there are old ways of doing things that you recognize at this point just need an adjustment. Maybe there is a new way for you to see or know or understand. Maybe there is an opportunity to move more in alignment with what feels right and true for you, not based on what anyone else is saying is right and true for you, but what you feel is right and true for you. With the sun in Capricorn, with the sun moving into Aquarius, you also have this inspiration to consider how you are receiving recognition for your contributions. Where Capricorn wants you to be ambitious and accomplish the goals, Aquarius says, okay, now let's get the recognition for this effort and recognize it's not just about you. It's about community. It's about the collective. So again, we do a lot of inner work, a lot of inner reflection to support how we are then part of the whole. Each person, each soul, each expression contributes to the whole. So we move over into Aquarius, and it's going to be a time to embrace your uniqueness of thought, your uniqueness of vision, your uniqueness of inspiration. And we'll talk more about Aquarius season actually in February. But at that time, regardless, happy birthday to all of the Aquarians. And then the following day, on January 20th, I always like to point out Martin Luther King Jr. Day because it is also considered a day of service. And a lot of times when we talk about this work or we're just caught up in life, we can be caught up in ourselves, right? And especially because Capricorn is very kind of self-focused. It's very much about our personal drive, ambition, and goals. Even though Aquarius is inviting us into more of a broader scope, more of a collective vision, we still sometimes can get lost in our own wants, desires, and needs and lose that awareness of what it means to also give back, to be of support to others in any ways that we can. So this day is considered a day of service, and we can consider how we are being of service to others, that it's not only about serving ourselves. Now, while that is an important component, it's also important to consider how we are of service to others. And that can look like anything. Yeah, I mean, you can already imagine, I don't need to give you a list, but the day of service. Then on January 22nd, we have another class that you can join me for. It's called the Birthday Bash. It's all about energy and intuition. The tuition for this is $48. It's a 1 day, just a few hours, and it is my 48th birthday. So we are going to have a fun time exploring, playing with, experimenting with energy and intuition during the Birthday Bash. If you want to join me for that, the link to join is below. Now, I do want to highlight, if you are on my newsletter, you are getting this email and access to this video on December 27th before we even enter into the new year. And the reason I'm doing this is because you only have 1 day left to register for the Alchemy Circle. The doors close for registration in the Alchemy Circle on December 28th. And the reason I'm emphasizing this is because all of the classes I've mentioned so far, plus more classes that are coming out throughout the year, you will be automatically have enrollment in those classes as a member of the Alchemy Circle. So if you are like, I just want to take all the classes next year, it may be worth it for you to do the Alchemy Circle because you get access to all the classes plus the other events that comes with membership. So speaking of that, on January 29th, we have the new moon in Aquarius and the year of the snake. So the new moon in Aquarius, where we spoke about, we start this month with the new moon in Capricorn, where we're planting new seeds around ambitions and goals. This new moon in Aquarius is really inviting us to plant new seeds about how we will be more innovative and how we will be more accepting of originality. We don't have to follow the blueprint of other people. We can be inspired by it, but what is really unique and true to you? And how can you allow yourself to come out of what is familiar and comfortable and allow yourself to express more fully into what feels most resonant and true? People often say with Aquarius energy, it is the invitation to dance to the beat of your own drum. Again, if Aquarius is like future thinking, forward thinking, it is not concerned with how things have been done for the last 20 years. It's like, how do we improve? How do we be innovative? How do we make things better than what they have been? And how do we make these changes with consideration for all, not just making things better for ourselves, but how can we make changes that ultimately are better for the collective? How can we be more embracing of recognition for our individuality and why we came to be here and how it is we serve? So those are considerations during the new moon on the 29th. But also, again, during that new moon, we enter into the year of the wood snake. So in Chinese astrology, we are moving out of the year of the dragon and into the year of the snake. Now, the year of the dragon was more about this like boldness in how we move and how we take action. And it was paired with, remember, the universal year 8, which was all about power. So there's more intensity in 2024. Now, 2025 will also have its flavor of intensity in that it is focused on change. Again, universal year 9, ending cycles. However, the year of the snake is also shedding old skin and very highly focused on transformation. But also think about how deliberate a snake is and how it moves, how it slithers. So there's a lot of wisdom in this year asking us to be very mindful and take our time about how we're getting things done, about how we move, how we are viewing things before we strike, so to speak. Yeah. So the year of the snake is going to activate in us a lot of transformation, inviting us to be more grounded and deliberate in how we get things done. It's going to also illuminate for us a lot of wisdom, just as the year 9 in of itself will, but we're being asked to release what no longer serves us. So again, with the year of the snake and the universal year 9, releasing what no longer serves us is going to be such a big theme this year. But that also invites us into moving into what is for us at this time, new opportunity. And the element of the snake this year is the wood, which is very much associated with growth. So we have growth, renewal. Wood is also associated with detoxification. So strange. I feel like so many recording issues for this video. But anyway, we're just about done. The point of this is that the year of the snake and this year in of itself, 2025, is going to really support us in evolving into the new, preparing us to evolve into the new. So as I mentioned before, if you want to know more about the energy of 2025, be sure to watch the energy of 2025 video that will be posted in Creating with the Moon and Stars, as well as the Energetic Alchemist app. And you can join me for all of these beautiful classes to learn more about how to work with these energies. And there are different events coming up throughout the year. You can learn more on my website, theenergeticalchemist.com. But the last event of January is on the 30th. We have Uranus stationing direct. So remember, it went retrograde on the 1st, and then it's going to station direct in Taurus on the 30th. And so then we have more forward movement or breakthrough around our resources, our finances, or just the plans that we want to create as it relates to anything related to our stability and even our resources, what we own. So if you are starting to question those kind of themes at the beginning of the year when Uranus is in retrograde, just know that those energies will be more forward moving, and there will be more of an essence or energy of breakthrough by the time we reach the end of January. So how you're in relationship to stability, some breakthroughs around that by the end of the month. And I just wanted to let you know as well, there is a Reiki blog on my website. So a lot of the questions that I'm asked, and a lot of times where I'm asked for suggestions around how to work with energy in different ways. Of course, we have Reiki Radio, but a lot of times on Reiki Radio, I'm interviewing people. So if you want to just see some other points of focus around energy work, then you can check out the Reiki blog as well. So if you go to the website, theenergeticalchemist.com, you will see the link to click onto the blog from the homepage. You'll see a little image that says Reiki blog on there somewhere. So just wanted to let you know that's available as well. I look forward to journeying through this year with you. All of the big changes. I, can't imagine what this is going to look like for us, but we can be consciously engaged, consciously involved, and we have lots of different systems and practices to support us along the way. Don't forget the Pulse of Reiki. I don't think I told you that, but the Pulse of Reiki class starts on January 29th as well. So there is a class that I have that is on demand. You can go at your own pace, called Reiki Tools. And a lot of you have taken Reiki Tools over the years. And just so you know, that has been updated. So if you already have ever purchased Reiki Tools, you can log back in and go through the updated version of that. But if you ever wanted to do a class like Reiki Tools live, where you can come and interact with me and ask questions and just feel the group participation of it all, then Pulse of Reiki is what you want to register for. That class is for level 2 and 3 practitioners. So if you are Reiki level 2 or 3 and you want to go deeper into the practice or explore more components within the system of Reiki, join us in Pulse of Reiki. It starts on January 29th. I'm glad I didn't forget to tell you that. So registration for that is on the website. But again, if you are a member of the Alchemy Circle, you will automatically be enrolled in that class. And I look forward to sharing that with you. But there are big changes throughout this year. I look forward to the journey we will have. Thank you again for spending the year with me. If you just found me or Reiki Radio this year, welcome to the community. If you've been here with me for years, thank you for staying. I have such a deep bow of gratitude for just community in of itself, but the ways that we exchange and engage and have opportunities to support each other mean the absolute world to my Aquarian heart. So I hope you all have a gorgeous January. I will see you next month, or I will see you in some classes. Be well, and remember to always journey in love.